Amazon is raising its minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Amazon is raising the minimum wage. It's $15 an hour.
Well, big news today. Amazon raising its minimum wage to $15 an hour.
What's that? Amazon just what? $15 an hour. $15 an hour. $15 an hour? I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's literally the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. $15 a fucking hour? Hey Amazon, do you want a cookie? What an absolute joke. The news ranting and raving about $15 an hour like that's actually going to help your life in the big scheme of things. Meanwhile, the CEO, Jeff Bezos, is walking around with 160 fucking billion in the bank. And it's not just Amazon, but that goes for any 9-to-5 job. Those poor workers are getting played like an Xbox. And so are you, if you're currently stuck at a 9-to-5 hellhole. Now, I don't mean to be condescending and belittle you, but the reason I'm acting so crazy is I want you to get pissed off. I want you to be mad. Why so? There is a known little quote from the movie The Terminator 3 with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he picks up a depressed and hopeless John Connor, who he was sent back to Earth from the future to protect. Out of nowhere, he picks him up by the neck for about 5 seconds and then just tosses him to the ground like a bag of trash. And then John goes, "What the hell did you do that for?" And the Terminator replies, "Anger is more valuable than despair." So basically, the Terminator pissed him off on purpose for motivational purposes. And that is exactly what I wanted to do to you today. $15 a fucking hour? You're worth $100, $200, $500 an hour. And I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve that today. So please sit back, shut down Facebook, close out Instagram, and prepare to watch this video to the very end. Because what I'm about to tell you today will literally change your life forever. No, you won't make a 160 billion net worth like Mr. Bezos. Not even close. That bastard got lucky with a 300K investment from his parents. Do your parents have 300K lying around to toss you? Probably not. And on top of that, the only reason he's making so much is, duh, he's being cheap and paying all his workers a minimum of $15 measly an hour. While he probably has $1 million falling out of his fucking shoe. So, while I can't help you make billions, I am going to show you how to make 6 figures working from the beach or anywhere else in the world you want, right here, right now. So just give me your undivided attention for the next few minutes, and you won't be the same person you were before you clicked play on this video. I literally guarantee it. But before I show you how to make 6 figures a year by working just 1 day a week from your laptop, let me tell you a little about who the hell I am. And my name is Adrian Grushka, but for short you can simply call me Adrian G. And over the past 5 years, I've worked nothing but 1 day a week while making well over 6 figures. Yes, 1. Count them. 1. And with all of the knowledge I've gained over this period of time, I've had the privilege of teaching thousands of others my tricks of the trade and how to completely master the art of being their very own boss, quickly and easily. But before I became successful making 6 figures a year by working just 1 day a week, I worked a 9 to 5, just like you, and you, and you, and you. But after going through years and years of what I politely define as hell, one day something just clicked, I snapped and finally had enough. I was able to come up with the secret path to success. The keys to the kingdom, if you will, that would get me out of the rat race forever. So now let me tell you the quick story of how I changed my life forever and how I'm going to help you do the exact same. It all started back on June 12th, 2013. Yes, I remember the exact date when I was hired to my second call center job. While I despised the first company I worked for, this one was even worse. Imagine walking into work, sitting in your chair, and having 70 customers per day yelling and screaming at you because their phone bill is screwed up. What are all of these fees? I didn't go over my data. Are you going to pay for this, you bastard? Yes, me. I'm going to pay because their phone bill is screwed up. You see, I often got the direct blame from the disgruntled customer, not the phone company I'm working for. So it's easy for my supervisor to say, the customer is always right, and expect me to wear a big, goofy smile all day. But as a human being, not a robot, it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. And on top of that, my boss himself, Gary, or as I like to call him, Mr. Potato Head, had to be the biggest asshole walking the face of the earth. I called him Mr. Potato Head because he was fat, bald with hair on the sides, had a big goofy mustache, glasses, and always wore a red tie. So basically Mr. Potato Head in the flesh. His style of management went something like this. If he woke up on the right side of the bed, he was a decent human being and okay to deal with. If he woke up on the left side of the bed, he was Satan reincarnated and would do anything in his power to make my life a living hell. Now I'm guessing he had a volcano pit or shark-infested water on the right side of his bed because seeing as he was a total ass, say 98% of the time, he sure as hell loved waking up on his left. So between Satan, Mr. Potato Head, Gary, the 70 calls coming back to back of irate customers all day, driving an hour to work in rush hour traffic, all the while making just enough to pay my bills and have $25 a month left over if I was lucky. Let's just say I was probably top 10 miserable human beings on earth during this time period. You see, Gary was the type of miserable douche who would just give me crap for the hell of it. Every single day, he would just do little stuff to deliberately annoy me and piss me off. No matter how hard I tried to be a model employee, he found great joy in just coming into work and taking his misery out on me. Adrian, lower your voice while talking to that caller. He'd scream while monitoring my calls from his desk. Then the next call, he may ask me to raise my voice even though I'm talking at the exact same frickin' volume level. So yes, his hobby in life was to simply annoy the hell out of me and eat bonbons. Now, that's just my guess based on the fact that his belly sagged damn near to his knees. But anyway, I needed a paycheck, so I put up with his BS every day because it's what I needed to do to survive. So fast forward about 6 months into my job tenure, and I'm now promoted to a team lead. Not a supervisor, but a notch below. And no, I wasn't promoted there by Mr. Potato Head. It came from the higher ups who saw my work ethic and excellent stats and simply couldn't deny me the raise. If it was up to my boss, zero chance I would have ever gotten promoted. Zero. So at this point, with the extra $4 an hour raise, I was at least able to pay all my bills and have a little breathing room left over at the end of the month. Went from $25 to $300 in spare money, which for me made me feel rich in comparison to my old salary. So While Mr. Potato Head was still a pain in my ass, I was finally, how could I put it, content with my job. Borderline happy compared to 6 months prior. And then that's when it happened. The new hire that would change everything. His name was Corey Lima. That's middle name, not last. Corey was a rich preppy kid who thought he was God's gift to the frickin' world. He walked around in custom-made khakis, neatly pressed dress shirts with a 24-karat gold button pinned to it, and a sweater draped around his neck and a knot. Imagine the president of your school's honor society who had a free lifetime membership to his dad's country club and spent most of his free time on a perfectly green, exceptionally groomed golf course. Because that's exactly who he was. His parents, mother, a primary care physician, and father, the CEO of one of the largest investment banks in Australia, made him get a job at this call center. Not because he needed the money, but to teach him life lessons on working hard, since they had spoiled him too much up to this point. But when it comes to this guy, it seems he pretty much did anything besides work. So what's the significance of this guy besides being a spoiled, entitled little douchebag? Well, my boss, Mr. Potato Head, aka Gary, took a strong liking to this little brown noser. You see, while Corey Lima, that's middle name, not last, didn't have too many life skills, one thing he must have learned from his CEO father was the delicate art of sucking up. I mean, the guy practically invented it. Coming in with cupcakes for the team, with a specially made large one for Mr. Potato Head, giving him a bottle of cologne for his birthday, cracking corny jokes all day, which Potato Head would eat up. I mean, it was literally nauseating. The dead giveaway that he was the ultimate suck-up was him always complimenting Potato Head's looks. When, while I don't normally judge guys, in actuality, he was easily one of the most hideous looking creatures this world has ever seen. But none of my business, right? I just keep on doing my job while Corey keeps kissing butt and Mr. Potato Head treats me like crap as the team lead. Right? Not a problem. Well, at least that's what I thought. Now, fast forward a couple of weeks and Corey Lima, that's middle name, not last, has been here for a total of 1 month. And one day, while standing outside of Potato Head's office, printing out some papers, I overhear Corey in the office kissing up and telling our boss he thinks he should qualify for a team lead. So what do you think, old Gary boy? Well, we are only allowed to have one team lead at a time. And right now, well, what's his face is holding that position. But no, trust me, I wasn't the one who promoted him, said Mr. Potato Head. Oh, wow, that's too bad, Corey responded. Well, just give it some thought and who knows what the future holds. Sure thing, buddy, I'll see you on lunch, Potato Head yelled. So before Corey could open the door to leave, I scurried around the corner to the break room, heart beating fast in somewhat disbelief. But at the end of the day, I'd been in this position 4 months, at this job 10 months, and my stats spoke for themselves, so I knew I had nothing to worry about. Now, fast forward about 2 more weeks, and Mr. Potato Head is now giving me way more shit than usual. Way more. When I say a bug was practically up his ass 24/7, I really mean it. He was yelling a little louder at me, being a lot more impatient, and seemingly trying to find the smallest of things to give me a hard time about. One day, he came up with some lame problem that I left the file cabinet open and it was a safety hazard for employees and that I could get in big trouble for it. He just went out of his way to screw with me at this point. Fast forward another week. And it's finally the weekend and I can relax. Saturday, I just took it easy and played some video games. And Sunday, after laying on my couch for a few hours, I got up and got dressed and went to church. And that's when I received a text message that would alter my life forever. Hey Adrian, sorry to inform you, but due to your conduct lately, we have decided to go in another direction. I wish you luck in future endeavors. Sitting there in the middle of church with the opera passionately singing their hearts out. I'm already not supposed to be on my phone, but I do check it in emergencies. So I messaged my boss right back. Gary, what exactly are you saying? And he responds with the 2 words I'll never forget. You're fired. And at that very moment, my heart sunk so deep into my chest, I could feel it touching my stomach. It hit me so fast and so hard. I was so distraught, I literally forgot where I was. With my head currently spinning, racing 1,000 miles per hour, I lifted up my fist and hit the bench as hard as I possibly could. And among the 200 or so churchgoers in attendance, it was a collective gasp and embarrassment within me that I can never forget. After the chorus came to a screeching halt, I hopped up, fully red-faced, and ran towards the exit. Young man, the pastor yelled. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. We all come to church as we are. Step here to the pulpit and let your frustrations be heard. I turned around slightly and made teary pupiled eye contact, but then just kept running towards the exit. I then hop in my car and call my boss's phone several times, but he never does answer. Now, immediately racing through my head was all my bills, rent, food. Where the hell was I going to stay? How the hell was I going to live? I thought. I mean, I really just got replaced by a spoiled rich kid who had only worked there for 1 month. This was the most insane thing I'd ever gone through in my entire life. But I was determined to fight and not drown in my own misery. So my next course of action was to say, fuck Mr. Potato Head, I'm going to find me a new job. So I go home, hop on my laptop, and start searching for jobs non-stop at this point. And this is the typical response I got. Sorry, we don't have any spots available. Not hiring right now, try back in November. We'll let you know once something opens up. This is what I got from the first 50 or so jobs I'd sent my resume to. 2 weeks later, as I'm laid back, panicking, sulking on my couch, still without a job, I decided to finally go check my mailbox, which I hadn't done in over a week as I was just too busy and depressed job hunting to even think about it. Then, as I was putting on my slippers to go check, I was suddenly energized by a burst of hope and optimism. Hey, maybe one of the jobs I applied to sent me an acceptance letter in the mail. Let me hurry up and go check, I told myself. Now, outside, frantically sifting through the pile of mail, throwing away a dozen or so advertisements, I see one white envelope and my eyes get big as I rip it open. Inside, I'm hoping, praying that this is the job I've been waiting on. And now, as I open the letter and take out the folded sheet of paper, rather than a job acceptance letter, I'm now staring at my worst nightmare. Eviction scheduled for Monday, July 21st, 2014. I step back slowly, taking several deep breaths, almost hyperventilating. I'm holding onto the mailbox so not to pass out and hit my head on the concrete floor. I take a few minutes to gather myself and then start to slowly walk towards my apartment. And that's when it suddenly dawned on me. I I really just slaved for this crap job for 6 months. Took shit from a boss with a permanent thumbtack in his ass, stressed out of my mind on a day-to-day basis. And all I have to show for it at the end of the day is the possibility of sleeping under a bridge in the next 10 days. This is the moment I knew I could never put my livelihood into another human being's hands ever again. And I made that my personal vow. As I hold on to the letter, still staring at it in my hand, in 0.5 seconds, my emotions suddenly turned from sad and distraught, feeling sorry for myself, to outright enraged and livid, as the true totality of the damage that Mr. Potato Head and Corey Lima wreaked on my life had finally started to set in. That's when I go home, hop on my laptop in a feverish attempt to save my life as I know it. How to make money online is the first thing I Googled, but came across nothing but a bunch of spammy ripoff sites just trying to get me to click all their ads. So that's when I sat back and try to really think. How can I, as a single entity, not a company, not with a group of lazy friends, how can I create a large, constant amount of revenue where I could simply take care of myself and not be at the mercy of another miserable human being like Mr. Potato Head? How? So I started thinking about some of the highest paying professions in the world. Doctors, lawyers, hell, even scientists. I tried to think why they make so much money like they do. And that's when it hit me. All of those professions I just named actually have a valuable skill. They aren't simply playing Mr. Secretary like I was doing to my old boss. They actually bring something to the table that any random Joe Schmo off the street can't just wake up one morning and do. But here is the obvious. My rent is due in 2 weeks. I don't have time to go to school for 8 years to become a lawyer. I don't have time to go to school for 13 years to become a doctor. In 2 weeks, 14 days, 336 hours, 20,160 minutes, or however the hell you want to calculate it, if I don't have my freaking rent paid, I'm going to be sleeping under a bridge or behind the gas station with spiders and snakes as my new next door neighbors. I had to figure out something now. So then I tried to think of something I was already good at, that I wouldn't have to go to school for a decade just to learn. I was a pretty good surfer, but how the hell was I going to make money doing that? I wasn't half bad at car detailing, but I could never make enough money doing that consistently to cover my rent. There had to be something I was good at. Something where I could give value to the world that I was actually passionate about. And that's when I received a text message from one of my lady friends, Amber, that said, "Hey babe, what you up to?" And that's when I had my money-making epiphany. You see, Amber was a girl I met at the grocery store, got her number, and have been having some fun with her ever since. And she was just one of many, many girls on my roster. All my guy friends would always ask me, "How the hell do you pull so many girls so easily?" I would simply smile, shrug my shoulders and say, "I have no idea, I just sort of do my thing." But this is when I realized that I do have a skill. And not just a skill, but a skill that would be valuable to other people, which is the key. So while I could never go to school to be a dentist or a surgeon per se, I guess you could just call me the love doctor, because I was as good at picking up chicks as any man walking earth. But the thing is, while I had all the knowledge and secrets in the world on how to help guys pick up women, there was still no way I could create my own product and package it within 2 weeks before I was out on my ass from this eviction notice. There was just simply no way. So what I did was head over to an internet marketing message board and ask them for advice on how to make money using my dating advice talents and make money fast. And that's when a senior member suggested that I sell someone else's product, who has already took the time to make it, another dating guru per se. So what I did was search for other decent dating products, created a blog where I could give away my own personal tips and secrets on picking up women, and then add the other gurus' products to my blog. If I sell the product for the other guru, I would get 75% commission for making the sale, and they would get the other 25% since they own the product. It's a win for me and a win for him. He gets 100% free sales that don't cost any advertising dollars, and I get to make money using my passion without having to create my own product. So I rushed to get the blog set up within about 2 to 3 days and then add the product. Now that I had a pretty decent looking blog, I started looking to find a way to get people to visit the website. So what I did was simply promote the blog using my current Facebook page and asking a couple of my buddies to do the same on their page. After the first day, I could see myself getting visitors, people reading the posts, even liking them, but no sales were coming in. 87 likes and not one sale. What gives? I yelled to myself in frustration. At this point, I just felt absolutely hopeless and was about to simply give up. Just go find a nice dry spot under the bridge where I could sleep, because I would not have a home a week from now. And this is when on July 13th, 2014, I woke up on a Sunday morning, right before my eviction was scheduled on that next Monday, and saw $648 sitting in my PayPal account. At first, I almost passed out from all the blood suddenly rushing to my head. I refreshed the web browser and pinched myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. After the web page reloaded and I still saw $648 sitting there, I jumped so high I almost hit my head on the ceiling. And that's when I knew I had something. While I was still about $200 short on my rent, I called the landlord up the next day and asked him if he could just give me a 1-week extension for the remaining $200, and I could pay him the $650 now. My landlord took a deep breath and said, "Okay, Adrian, just this one time, but you have to get your rent to me on time from now on. We're not running a charity here." I told him in the most confident voice I've ever used in my entire life, "No problem, no problem. I guarantee to not be late on my rent anymore." After hanging up and running down to the office to pay him the $650, I immediately log onto my computer and start doing more and more research and learning how to better perfect my blog and make a real living from it. Not just luck up on $650 like I did. I probably read at least 500, if not 1,000 websites and articles. I barely ate anything besides a few pieces of toast, and after giving the landlord the remaining $200 on my rent, 3 months later, I was now making over $8,000 a month selling products on my blog. And this is when I realized that I had to share this knowledge with other people out there who have an asshole for a boss like Mr. Potato Head, or who simply hate their low-paying job and want something better. Here is a fact. Most people all over the world know Sundays for 2 things: going to church and laying around the house all day, dreading going back into work on Monday. Well, today, my friend, I'm going to change the meaning of Sunday. Seeing as how I was fired on a Sunday and then found my path to 100K a year on a Sunday, I decided to make it a tradition. And now, when I work, I only work for 1 day a week from my laptop, and I do that on a Sunday. And that's how Six Figure Sunday was born. Six Figure Sunday is the most powerful, detailed, easy-to-use program ever created on how to generate a 6-figure revenue working just 1 day a week. Guaranteed. It is a comprehensive system I meticulously crafted through tens of thousands of hours of research and real-world testing, which will, 1, help you start your own business online. 2, kick your boss to the curb forever. And 3, work from anywhere in the world using only an internet connection and your laptop. Just 1 day a week. Work from the beach? Now you can. Take a break anytime you want? Now you can. Spend 3 hours on lunch instead of 1? Now you can. Sleep till late in the afternoon and wake up and start work whenever the hell you want? Now you can. Make 5 times your old salary and be able to travel, vacation, get an 850 credit score and spoil yourself with luxury items? Now you can. Never spend hours out of your day sitting angrily in rush hour traffic ever again? Now you don't have to. Now, my friend, are you prepared to change your life forever? Okay, but first, let me give you just a quick glimpse of what all is included in the world-class 6-figure Sunday system. I will give you 47 powerful video lessons that'll teach you firsthand how to become your own boss and kick your old one to the curb forever. Want to work 1 day a week from your laptop and make 6 figures doing it? Don't worry, I got you covered. All the blood, sweat, and tears I poured into researching and taking action to become my own boss is now all here for your unrestricted consumption. In the first module, I'll teach you how to actually get yourself in the mind frame to know you can be your own boss. And 99% of people in the world want to be their own boss. But another 98% of those people have limiting beliefs and fears of failure. I will break down the psychology of success to let you know you can do whatever you put your mind to. And this is honestly one of the biggest hurdles, but I will squash it for you today. The first obstacle people who want to ditch their 9-to-5 have is, well, yes, I want to be my own boss and I want to make my own money, but I have no idea what the heck I want to do. Knowing this dilemma, I will take time to explain to you how to actually pick a niche that specifically fits your personality and passions and that you'll wake up every week wanting to do, instead of wanting to run for the exit. It's no point in me telling you to do something you love if there is no market for it. So instead of just simply telling you, dude, go do this, I'm going to break down how you can test customer demand so you know there's a healthy market, give you the 7 vital keys to success, and much more. This isn't a program filled with cheesy get-rich-quick schemes for you to follow. I'll actually teach you how to take a topic you are extremely passionate about and turn it into a legitimate business. You'll learn the #1 ways to earn revenue online even if you don't have your own product. Now, more on that in a few. In Module 2, I will help you pick between selling physical and information products and the benefits of selecting information products. Then I'll walk through the intricate details of creating your product, launching your product, and then creating more products, aka more money after your first one. Don't want to create your own product? No worries. I will also teach you how to make a boatload of money selling other people's products. Yes, that's right. They go through the process of building the product, creating it, etc., and then you kick back and get paid to sell it for them. This is a dirty little shortcut that I normally never tell a soul, but going to spill the beans to you in full today. Ever heard the saying, different strokes for different folks? That's why I make sure to give you several completely different options for making money. Perhaps you may want to create your own membership site where people sign up to the site, pay you money every single month to use it, while you kick back with your feet up. I'll give you all the goods on this in Module 4. Or maybe you feel like you have a ton of knowledge in a certain area and want to teach others what you know. I'll show you how to create your very own coaching business where you get paid for simply giving people advice that's second nature to you. I will break this down for you thoroughly in Module 5. Or maybe you just want to sell products, start blogging, or something else. Whatever the case may be, I will go through all of the available options and let you custom fit the one that best suits you. I will take you step by step through the process of creating a powerful website using a method that's super easy with no technical skills required. You'll also learn how to get it out there so the world can see what you have to offer. Now, I want you to imagine going to a party with 100 people and everybody there has on white. Then one guy waltzes in with an all red suit and a top hat on. Who do you think is more likely to get noticed? That's why in Module 5.3, I'm going to show you how to stand out from the crowd with your product. Make yours the one that gets noticed by your customer base while your competition gets swept under the rug. Getting sales? Good. Satisfied? No, I don't want you to be. Once you do have the ball rolling and money coming in, I'm going to show you how to maximize your sales and take your profits higher and higher and higher. And don't worry, you're not being greedy. The rich simply call it capitalism. And I'm going to show you how to take full advantage of it. Having a killer product without being able to market it properly is literally like having the world's fastest car but can't even put a gallon of gas in it. You have something amazing right in front of you, but it's never going anywhere, ever. That's why I make it a special point to show you how to properly market your product and get it out for the world to consume. Those who are highly interested in it and are ready to buy. Forget filling up your gas tank. You will have your own gas station, or hell, even an oil field with the top secret marketing tactics I'm going to give you. I will cover it in painstaking detail in Module 7. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And well, maybe they are right. That's why in Module 3.6, I'm going to tell you how to become a millionaire by copying what others are doing. Here are a few more sayings. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And my favorite, work smarter, not harder. I'm going to give you the easy road cheat sheet on how to copy someone else's idea legally, add your own personal touch to it, and make an absolute killing while doing so. Some of my close buddies are going to be pissed off with me about this one. Ever heard of a little website called Google.com? You know, you go there, type in something, and a bunch of websites pop up. Well, in Module 6.4, I'm going to show you how to get your website to the top of Google so it's exposed to literally the whole world. And it won't cost you a single dime in advertising. Also, I'm going to show you how to launch your business with barely any money at all. Listen, friend, you don't need to go take out a loan or save up for 10 years to make money using my system. I will teach you how to get up and running with absolutely zero knowledge or money whatsoever. And I will teach you much, much more. With everything mentioned, this is only scratching the surface of all the real world skills and money-ready knowledge you will gain using the Six-Figure Sunday system. Now, here's a money-making secret I'm going to tell you that nobody else on earth will, because they are outright greedy. The internet is the most revolutionary invention since the light bulb. That part you already knew. The secret part is that 99.9999% of people only latch onto its revolutionary social aspects. Meeting a girl? In the 1960s and even 90s, you used to have to meet at a bar or cafe. Now with the internet, you have Tinder, Instagram, Facebook, which makes meeting a new girl 10,000 times easier because you have quick access to so many of them. What most people don't know is it's made making money 100,000 times easier too. So I'm going to teach you how to harness the power of the World Wide Web to make money the same way you've harnessed it to talk to and connect with new people on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. This is the dirty little secret every corporate CEO doesn't want you to fully understand. So it's constantly suppressed in the news and media. Yeah, getting 200 likes for posting a picture of your lunch today is all over the news and everybody does it. Six Figure Sunday is going to reprogram your mind and show you how to turn the web into a bank vault instead of a meetup. Really think about it. It's called social media and not money media for a reason. The bigwig CEOs want you to socialize all day, so you'll never be able to unlock the money side of the internet. And that's the dirty little secret I'll expose to you in meticulous detail within this system. Why do you think there are countless dating sites like Tinder, Plenty of Fish, eHarmony, etc., 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 but no money sites? Not a single one. It's because the greedy CEOs are willing to help you find a date. They'll help you find a fling or a soulmate because that doesn't hurt them at all. Hooking you up with a companion does nothing to harm them personally. But on the other hand, they would never show you how to make money because then it would cut into their pockets. Then they would only be able to afford $20 million mansions instead of $30 million ones. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Poor them. I mean, really think about it. Really, really think about it. But don't worry, I won't allow them to hide it from you any longer because this dirty little secret will be fully exposed within the Six Figure Sunday system today. Listen, friend. I created Six Figure Sunday for a reason. From a personal place, I've honestly never enjoyed working a 9-to-5 job. But I know and understand to live in this world, to survive, you simply have to work to earn a living. Period. Nothing is free, and I don't want to die miserable on welfare. So regardless of how much I despise my jobs, I always went in, smiled, and worked hard because it's what I needed to do to earn a living. So to have that snatched away from me for absolutely no reason besides the fact that some fat, bald guy woke up on the wrong side of the bed changed my entire perspective on the world we live in. The power I thought I had over my own life was all imaginary. It literally didn't exist. I repeat, I now knew the power of my life was not in my hands. It was in the hands of another human being who held all the power. Someone almost able to play God, but an evil God, as twisted as that sounds. If he gets stood up by a woman, or can't find one for that matter, I get fired. If he has a flat tire on the way to work, I get fired. If they are sold out of the little blueberry muffins that he used to stuff his face with on lunch, I get fired. No matter what, if he's pissed off by something 1,000,000% outside of my control, I get fired, I get fired, I get fired. Period. And after I get fired, I almost get evicted and end up homeless, camping under the bridge in 12-degree weather. Honestly, now that I look back on it, living like that and letting another man have so much power over me actually made me less of a man. It's just something I have to admit at this point if I'm being real with myself. And besides my boss being the world's biggest douchebag, going into work 5 days a week just to make enough money to live wasn't too fun in its own right. Just an outright dead-end job with no extra time or money for leisure, while all the CEO does is kick back on his luxury yacht sipping $5,000 bottles of champagne off of my blood, sweat, and tears. When you really think about it and soak it all in, that's the most depressing thing in the world. And at the end of the day, this affected my life in an extremely negative way. From self-esteem to health, my sanity, and everything in between. Negative side effects that come from working an absolute dead-end job that I never even considered before, or possibly took for granted. So once I finally cracked the code on how to work for myself, make 5 times what I made at my 9 to 5, and work only 1 day out of the week, it was my undying mission to kick knowledge back to you guys. And that's the reason I'm standing before you today. And let me make this extremely clear. If you're thinking you need to go to college for 5 years or invest a ton of money to make 6 figures using the system, I need you to wipe that from your head forever right now. Just wipe it. Every single method, strategy, secret, and lesson that I've jam-packed into this system was created from the ground up to universally work for any person. Whether you never graduated college or never graduated 9th grade, whether if you have any personal skills or not, whether you're outgoing or whether you're shy and timid, whatever your personal situation, this program was created with you in mind. To help you ditch your job and work 1 day a week and retire before you're 50. This isn't one of those ebooks you'll find full of cheesy get-rich-quick schemes and oversaturated processes that never work. This is a comprehensive video system crafted by a man who was facing the prospect of sleeping outdoors in the cold, but who researched and researched until I finally cracked the money-making code. And now will help you do what I did, but do it quicker and with 100 times less stress. I give you the step-by-step blueprint from A through Z on how to make 6 figures by working only on Sundays, or whatever one day you choose, and drastically change your entire life in the process. Now, friend, the next thing I'm going to teach you quickly, I need you to listen to and let this stick in your brain for the rest of your life. This quick part is so ridiculously important and life-altering, I need to make sure I have your 1000% undivided attention. So I'll give you 6 seconds to get ready. Okay, ready? Okay, good. Now listen carefully. The biggest hurdle holding people back from making money is they fail to remember one key thing, and one key thing only. You only have to learn how to make your own money one time to be successful and eventually get rich. Not 1,000,000 times or 1,000 times or even 100 times. All you have to do is learn how to make your own money one time. And then you can use that money-making trait you just learned whenever, forever. Now, think about it. When you learn to ride a bike, you learn to ride it once. And then you can ride a bike for the rest of your life without having to ever learn again. When you learn to drive a car, you learn to drive it once. And then you can do it for the rest of your life without having to ever learn to drive again. Hell, when you're a toddler, once you learn how to poop on your own, you learn it once and then you can do it for the rest of your life easily without needing to ever learn again. So once I teach you how to make money, I only need to teach you once. And then you can literally do it for the rest of your life, just like riding a bike. You can take the one strategy I teach you and make money with it again and again and again and again. Just like riding a bike, driving a car, or using the bathroom. It'll be so easy to you once you learn it. You're basically now your own human ATM machine. Then anytime you want to press a few buttons, the money is going to come pouring out of your laptop. Any time you want it to. Most people subconsciously and wrongfully think that making money is like climbing a mountain. That you have to climb the mountain every time to get to the top, aka make money. So they think it's too hard and never even attempt it. And thus, adopting this you only need to learn once thought process is the key to you being successful. It's the key. So please remember that when preparing to purchase this system. I'll teach you once, and then the floodgates will permanently remain open for eternity. And don't you ever, ever forget this. And listen, once you master this system in 8 weeks or less, you'll no longer be the person you are as you sit here and watch this video at this very moment. Nope. You'll no longer be that person, but rather a drastically improved, supremely confident, and eventually financially well-off version of it. Six Figure Sunday was created to not only improve the status of your wallet and bank account, but to literally improve your entire life in a snowball effect. Pay close attention. Working only 1 day a week, you can spend more time with family, friends, exercising, and doing other things to make yourself happy and prolong a healthy life. Being able to work from anywhere with an internet connection, you're no longer tied down to one spot and can roam freely, allowing you to kill two birds with one stone. Like taking a vacation and working at the same time. Once you're making 5 times what you made at your 9 to 5, you can then take more vacations, buy that nice car you've always wanted, date more, have less stress in day-to-day life, save more for retirement, etc., etc., etc. The overall life benefits of working for yourself cannot be overstated. And it's not just me saying this. Matthew Smith from Phoenix, Arizona says, Adrian, with Six Figure Sunday, I made my first 10K this month, aiming for 20K next month. Thanks, coach. Luke Wilson from Los Angeles, California. You changed my life, Adrian. I'm now making 5 figures monthly. Dave Johnson from Sydney, Australia. Honestly, man, was a bit skeptical joining Six Figure Sunday, but second month in, and I've made $11,550. Everybody, please trust Adrian here. His system works. And Mitch Evans from Miami, Florida. I've seen a dramatic change in not only my bank account, but I'm feeling like a changed man. Thanks, dude. Once you're making 5 times what you made at your 9 to 5, you can then take more vacations, buy that nice car you've always wanted, date more, have less stress in day-to-day life, save more for retirement, etc., etc., etc. The overall life benefits of working for yourself cannot be overstated. You will actually live happier and longer once you fully embrace all that is given within the Six Figure Sunday system. And that's the mindset I designed it with from the very get-go. And I want to reiterate again, I'm sure you've seen other make money programs out there claiming to help you make $100 million or make 50K in just 7 days. But this is the difference. I'm not here to give you false BS expectations and sell you dreams. No, I can't help you make 50K in only 7 days. And no, I don't guarantee you'll be able to make $100 million. But what I can promise is you will be able to make 6 figures a year, working just 1 day a week, which is more than what most humans could ever ask for. If you're looking to be the next Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, I'm sorry, you should look elsewhere. This system simply isn't for you. And I'm not even saying you can't achieve that one day. You can literally do anything you want. All I'm saying is that's simply not something I can guarantee. But the 6 figures, 1 day a week, you'll have that in the bag. And I put my full guarantee behind it. To be honest, in this economy, I had originally planned to give this system away for absolutely free to every single human that came across this video. The way I felt after getting the boot from Mr. Potato Head in favor of Lima, I wanted to start a fuck your boss revolution and give this system to everyone, so no one would suffer through a psycho boss like I did ever again. That is until I realized such a move would turn out to be counterproductive and ruin the mission of what I actually set out to do, which is helping you make 6 figures on your own. Let me explain. You see, if everyone were to download this system for free, the system and skills it teaches would go viral instantly, being discussed on all the blogs, forums, and social media the world over. Why is this a bad thing? Because once it goes viral, all the other blogs will steal my powerful secrets and rebrand it as a get-rich-quick scheme. And that's when all the lazy posers will attempt to use the system, while you, the serious one, will pass over it because you think it's just another BS system like all the other crap floating around out there. You being serious about making 6 figures and not just another poser will then skip this system, which will defeat the entire purpose of me making this video. I want you to have access to this life-altering information, and not someone who thinks they can make 50K in just 7 days, which is simply unrealistic bullcrap. And if those who I actually want to have the system decide to pass over it and then continue working a 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives, what sense would that make? Absolutely none at all. So with that being said, I do of course understand that in this economy where crappy 9 to 5 jobs are paying you peanuts, I know you aren't some big baller who has a ton of extra cash lying around. So after some careful deliberation, I was able to pull some strings and strike the perfect balance on the cost of the system to ensure every person in need of ditching their boss and making 6 figures a year could easily afford it. So today, for a limited time, you can access the 6 Figure Sunday system instantly for a one-time fee of just $497, which is 78% off the normal price of $2,197. With this limited time discount, you are essentially getting the tools and methods to leave your 9 to 5 job forever and become your own boss for the price of what you probably spend in gas driving back and forth to work every month. Do you think making 6 figures a year and never having to drive to work ever again is worth it? Of course you do. And with all that being said, I do of course understand that in this crappy job economy, every financial decision you make should be a smart one. So I'm going to make this one a no-brainer that you don't even need to think twice about. If for any reason, and that's any reason at all, you feel a 6 Figure Sunday system doesn't give you the best chance you've ever had to leave your 9 to 5 and make 6 figures a year, you have 60 days to request a full refund. That's a 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. Now, I'm sure you've heard the saying before, put your money where your mouth is. Well, I've decided to do just that, literally. Simply follow the steps and lessons provided in this system and I literally guarantee results. Guarantee. So you literally have nothing to worry about. And the reason I give you a full 2 months to try this system out is because that's how ridiculously certain I am that this will work for you. Some of the biggest companies, 100 billion, $1 trillion companies like Best Buy and Amazon, only offer a measly 15 and 30-day guarantee respectively. But that's that Greedy CEO, corporate BS laughing at you again. Go figure. I, Adrian Grushka, little old me, is willing to double, quadruple their guarantee window because I have zero doubt in my mind that Six Figure Sunday will work for you. But I know this. So the extensive guarantee is nothing for me to even worry about. Because at the end of the day, I crafted this system for one specific reason and one reason only. To help people like you leave your 9-to-5 behind, say F you to your boss and make $100K a year or better working for yourself. And if you feel I didn't do an amazing job with that, simply request a refund. It's as simple as that, leaving you absolutely nothing to lose. Seriously, friend, I want to ask you a question and for you to really, really think about the answer. What's the price of your long-term happiness and well-being? Better yet, what's the price of your short and long-term sanity? Can you really seriously put a number on it? I crafted this system to give you unlimited access to these priceless things in life for a one-time nominal fee. What I aim to do is transform your entire life, your entire existence with the Six Figure Sunday system. I developed this system from the start to impact your life a month from now and 50 years down the road. How much would you pay to make at least $100,000 a year without having to spend $300K in tuition and 8 years of your life stressing out in college? How much would you pay to only work 1 day a week, be able to work from anywhere in the world with an internet connection, and never have to wake up early and drive to work ever again? How much would you pay to never have to answer to a boss who literally holds your entire life in their hands, as if they were some type of god? They control your entire existence like a supernatural force from above. How much would you pay to end that forever? If that isn't worth the cost of $497, then maybe you like being bossed around and only making enough money to be able to struggle through another week. Here is a fact. Every single person walking this earth, including you, happiness is drastically affected based off of their salary and flexibility with their work schedule. Every last one of us. And if your happiness is low due to a crappy job, it will have a detrimental effect on your personal life outside of the workplace. And that's the madness I'm determined to end today. Here's a bit of crap hole job trivia. Did you know that when you work a 9-to-5 job, you are actually making the company you work for $300 plus an hour while you only get paid $10 to $15 of it? Where does that extra $280 go, you ask? To line the greedy CEO's pockets and help them buy more $5,000 bottles of champagne when you can barely afford bottled water by the end of the month. It helps them customize their private luxury yachts so they can cruise the world's largest oceans while you are struggling to pay just to keep your water running. They are spending millions and millions on fine diamonds and jewelry while you've been holding off on planning your wedding for 3 years because you're saving money for a ring as you don't want to buy your significant other a cubic zirconia. If you don't get the drift by now, the bottom line is, as they make tens upon hundreds of millions off of your hard work, you're struggling to simply live while they live it up and partake in heaven on earth. It's essentially 21st century slavery as you act as their slave so they can take trips to Cabo and Paris anytime they want and keep up their luxury lifestyle. Wouldn't it be cool if you could cut out all the middleman and keep all the money for yourself? With Six Figure Sunday, now you can be the one taking trips to Cabo like you rightfully deserve. At the end of the day, my friend, Six Figure Sunday all comes down to what I like to call the power of 5. While others are working 5 days a week, most from 9 to 5 p.m., you'll still be working the 5 too. Taking 5 vacations per year and making 5 zeros per year, which equates to 6 figures. Now, what is your alternative to Six Figure Sunday? Working till you are 70 years old with a hunch in your back, only to get shipped off to a nursing home to die when it's all said and done. Literally fulfilling the evil prophecy, life's a bitch, and then you die. You've been a good slave, now at 70 years old, you're physically limited, and they have no more use for you. So you go to a nursing home as you're no longer needed, and they'll continue this cycle over and over again. Decade after decade, finding a new dummy to take your place. Am I calling you a dummy? No. Hell no. For you to even be on this page, I know how smart and intelligent you are. But that's exactly how these corporate CEOs and bosses look at you, as their personal dummy. You're nothing but a dot on their graph chart. Nothing more, nothing less. And it's time you finally show them who's the real dummy, because it damn sure isn't you. What you need to learn about the world and making money to fully prosper is providing value is key. You see, everybody has their unique skill, whether they know it or not. Doctors still have to go to lawyers. Lawyers still have to go to skilled barbers, and barbers still have to go to mechanics. Everybody has a skill that equals value to the world. And the key to leaving the rat race is you making money off of yours, your value. And once I teach you how to find and harness that value today, it's going to be like you have your own superpower. Literally. Like Superman or Wolverine. You will now have your very own superpower that will allow you to make the green like magic. And I guarantee to be the best sidekick the world has ever seen. But let me be clear. The Six Figure Sunday system isn't for everyone. If you're expecting to literally lay back, snap your fingers, and make $10,000 in one day without putting in even a little work, then this just isn't for you. While I crafted this system from the very beginning to be the easiest and fastest money-making system in the world that anyone could grasp, I don't want you thinking this is something you just pour water on and in one day you're suddenly Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or Mark Zuckerberg. I refuse to sell you a dream like some of these other scam artists, telling you, if you just do this for 10 to 15 minutes, you can make $20,000. So just be prepared to put in a little time with the system. To make everything come to fruition, it's 100% videos. No reading, so I made it easy on you. And if you're one of those snobbish pricks, sort of like that douche Corey Lima, who are already super wealthy with rich parents but are still here trying to line your rich kid pockets even further, then please, kindly leave this page now. I created this page to help people who are tired of working a 9 to 5 earn an incredible financial living. Not showing some greedy rich kid how to make even more money and walk around even more prickish and snobbish. Your personality just doesn't mesh with my philosophy of who I'm trying to help, and I'd appreciate if you did not take advantage of the system. So please, just leave now. And let me also say this, as one final heads up, this page won't be up forever. As I spread my message across the world and more people start ditching their 9 to 5s, those greedy CEOs will then start to sweat as their workforce gradually leaves them. And then they will do everything in their power to get me shut down. Now, I already received a few anonymous threats just a few days ago. I mean, just think about it. Who do rich, out of touch with society pricks hang out with? Other rich, out of touch pricks. That's who. So I have no doubt in my mind they would call up their CEO buddies, like the ones who host this webpage, and try to get me shut down. So with that being said, it is imperative that you grab this system right now while it's still available, because I know they will pull the plug on me sooner or later. Listen, friend, 5 years ago, I got fired for no reason while I was sitting at church on my day off. And I've held on to that pain ever since. To this very day, I hold on to the pain of that text message from Mr. Potato Head and his snobby little sidekick Lima. But I don't cry and sulk about it. I now use that pain and fury as motivation and determination to help people like you. I literally got fired and almost had to go live under a bridge. So I told myself my job at any time can put me in the position to die anyway. So I might as well take my life into my own hands as I have nothing to lose. A 9-to-5 job isn't secure. Working for yourself is. And that is the main thing I hope you understand and take away from this video. I had to go through hell working a 9-to-5 just to become near homeless. That's like digging for diamonds for 3 years only to get killed in a cave avalanche. Or going to the dentist for a toothache and leaving with your head decapitated. AKA working a crappy job for years, stressing out every single day, only to be fired due to no fault of your own. It's a double whammy screw job of the highest order. And I'll do anything possible to not see you fall into the same trap I did. And please, never forget what I told you earlier. When it comes to knowing how to make your own money, you only have to learn once. You only have to learn once. You only have to learn once. I need you to pound this in your head and never forget it. Say it to yourself 10 times in the mirror if you need to, because just like riding a bike, driving a car, or pooping, you only have to learn how to make your own money one time, and then you can literally do it anytime you want, turning yourself into a walking, talking, human ATM machine. And let me be clear, though I'm successful and working for myself now, this wasn't always going to be the case. I was a normal kid growing up. I wasn't exposed to any luxuries like Lima from his CEO parents. My dad worked at a rundown factory, and my mum was always a homemaker. That's a nice way of saying she never had a job in her life. I literally come from nothing, but it took a nightmarish experience for me to be scared straight and go about life the right way, which is making your own money instead of making someone else rich off of your sweat. I sweated for them anyway and still ended up getting thrown out like yesterday's trash. And I'm here to guarantee now, you will never ever have to go through that same sick feeling. This is my new life mission, my calling. So my friend, the ultimate moral of the story is don't get Lima'd. And don't let some miserable boss control your life like a string puppet or pieces on a chessboard. Right now, you have the ability to take the power of your life and well-being back into your own hands. And that is exactly what you will be able to achieve by getting Six Figures Sunday below. And as far as Mr. Potato Head, I still make sure to stop by the old job every now and then to talk to a few old friends. And when I do, I make sure he gets a real good look at me. And his reaction? Let's just say my success left his blood boiling. So I guess you can say I made fried potatoes or French fries. And now it's your turn to turn your boss into a supper dish. And once you get your hands on the Six Figure Sunday system, it's going to be like sticking the key in the ignition of a brand new Lamborghini. Your life won't ever be the same again, my friend. I literally guarantee it. Get Six Figure Sunday below while it's still available, and I'll see you on the other side to a new life filled with huge success and never-ending happiness. It's now time to unleash your superpower. Your money-making sidekick, Adrian G. Peace.